What's up, everyone? So we've got another profile today. Who have we got, and what were you playing, bro?
Yo, what's up? This is Saul. I was playing Thad kind of 2.0 since the ban list hit about 3-4 days before the regionals. So I took out the Verte engine with the Enforcer and I threw in Punk, which actually kind of helped because I felt like I was playing less bricks, Dasher and Celestial. Although they're not hard bricks, they just don't really do anything if you draw them, obviously. And this made it feel more smooth, I guess you could say, and just added like an easier extender. So like the deck did get some consistency hits as far as like I was playing 2 Hulks, but now I only have 1. But I'll get more into like why 2 Hulks mattered instead of 1. But I took this to a Portland, Oregon regional in the States. It was about 255. It was just shy of 260 people. And unfortunately, our tiebreakers were not kind to us, but we got 34th place, which was too shy of placement. But I think it did way better than I expected, especially on like 3 days' notice to make adjustments.
Cool. Really good job, bro. I mean, yeah, that's still an awesome job, to be honest. Still right close to the top of the rankings, anyway. But yes, lay it on me, bro. What were the reason for your ratios and such?
So I saw a lot of deck profiles that played 2 Wandering Griffins, and a lot of them would say I wish I played 3, which made sense because this card it's perfect to open it because you just dump it on the field and it gives you access to Baron. So that's why I personally decided I'm just gonna bump it to 3. I want to see this. I would rather not search it. I'd rather search another Enchantress, so she's another extender when there's a token. Obviously, 3 Enchantresses standard. I played 3 of the Zay, and I mean that's just standard just for the E-Telly targets. And we played double Foxy Tune. This is probably where I would possibly make a slight change. There were situations where I opened Foxy Tune, which was great. I could special the Zay out of deck, but all I would do was be able to add another Foxy Tune, and I feel like in that situation it didn't really do anything for me. It was just like discard fodder if it came up. I would rather play 1 Dance Ogre, which is like discard to search, and that way I could normal summon another one and kind of keep going as like a further extender. So that's the only thing that I didn't really like. And there were some hands that were kind of weak, and I would have to discard a hand trap, which made if they had an interruption, made my first turn play even weaker. So that's the only change. Like outside of that, I think everything else was fine. I play the 1 Souls and 1 Illusion because if you don't open Pot, there's the main combo like that I sent you. You actually search this with the Herald of the Arclight, so you can draw 1 or draw 2 depending on the situation. So there's really no need to play more than 1 and 1 because you search it. Also, everything kind of revolves around the dragon package here. Obviously Red Rose went to 1, so instead of playing 3 as my main normal summon, I have to tutor it out with Hulk. So basically it's just Turbo Hulk basically, so I can get this, go into Baron, and then open up the Yazi plays. The 1 Roxrose, which you special off the Red Rose, pretty standard. A lot of other builds also were playing the Token Collector and the Fairy Tale Snow in the main deck. I kind of wanted to be greedy, like Mammoth is a hard brick, but I figured if I played a little bit more than 40 cards, chances are I won't see it as often, because if you see it, it literally does nothing. Even if you normal summon it, if you activate it right, you can't even use its effects. But I was like, I'm going to be greedy. Scythe is still in the format. I'm going to play it. It's just an auto win, and I think the majority of my wins were just because I Scythe locked. There is a specific reason for all these hand traps, all 12 of these. Sure, some of them aren't as great now, but the only thing that matters is there are tuners. So there are hands where I am being interrupted quite a bit with all of my extenders, but as long as I can normal summon any 1 tuner, I've opened up the Hulk line and it's full combo. I know the very first game of round 1 I played against Swordswan, I don't remember my exact hand, but he had Imperm and Ash, and I still scythe blocked him full combo just because the hand trap was a tuner. So I was able to just bait some interruptions and then just go from there. And that's the hard thing about the deck is like if your Enchantress gets Ash, you still have E-Telly, or sometimes I'll do the E-Telly as bait and then go that route. It just depends on the hand, obviously, but it's just so explosive. Prosperity, obviously just digging, so that way if I need another extender or whatever that is. Usually I only dig for 3, just because my extra deck, since I am playing the Marimar version, I can't really afford to banish 6 unless my hand is just awful and I have to dig for anything. 3 Tully, it's at 3, the card's busted. The right. So 2 Fateful, it's not a brick. You kind of like opening it, I guess. Just because if you don't see anything else, you can special something and then kind of go that route. And it helps you grind a lot more. There was probably like 2 games where my opponent didn't see the second one, they pop it, and then on the following turn, I was just able to do the whole line of the adventure line all over again. The one Draco back, the Monster Reborn for the Dragon Engine, Foolish, and Called By. But that was it for the main deck. I think 44 was fine. I had it at 42, and in the Punk group, I posted like a pre-list of like theory building, because like I said, I only had like 3 days to figure this out. And some people like were messaging me telling me just throw in the Souls package because you can search it, and it can be a draw 1 or draw 2 if your hand's kind of breaky. So I did like that inclusion, but yeah, that was it, 44.
Okay.
For the extra deck, it's the Link Karibo, just in case I have nothing to do with the Souls, I can just put a Link Karibo at the very end. Link Spider is important because I need to use one of the Marimar tokens to make my Dagda. Cherubini to get to your Enchantress is just like a 5th Enchantress because you have the 3 main ones and then you're Foolish. The reason why I was playing 2 Halics and you needed 2 is on the on your turn 1, when you're setting up your board, you need 1, obviously, as I explained, to be able to set your full board, which usually will consist of Baron, Savage, Hulk, and Dagda at the bare minimum. And on turn 2, what you would need it for is to go through the Selene line, so it was good to set up your board and then to be aggressive with it. So that really did suck. There was a lot of times where I really needed that Hulk to close out the game to make access code. So I guess it makes sense that it was hit to 1, but it definitely, out of all the hits to this deck, that was like the main one that definitely hurt it a lot, in my opinion. You have your OTK here, and then your Appaloosa. When you draw off your souls, if you have a Foxy Tune in hand, which the replay will show, and you can draw literally anything, you're able to use your souls, your Dagda, and then whatever you use your Foxy Tune to special the last of the Punk, and then you can make a 3 material Appaloosa, which is just like on top of everything. Because usually they can't even play through the Savage and Baron with the Scythe block, but it's just more insurance. Herald of the Arclight, because it searches your souls and it's your bridge to your Savage Dragon. Wonder Magician is to pop your Scythe. And then you synchro with the Scythe into this Sword Soul monster. I honestly don't even know its name, but it did come up a couple times, especially in the last game. Dawn Dragster, just in case your hand is kind of weak and you just need to... In a simplified game state, it's pretty good, just being able to stop, spells and traps. Yazi is basically the backbone to get to all of these extra synchros, and then the Savage and Baron.
Okay.
That was it for the extra deck. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And then what was your what led to your side check choices for this format?
So I still do think that the Token Collector and the Snow are strong, like the other decks that Topped were playing. But like I said, I just wanted to be greedy, and I feel like they were better in the side to counter, like, obviously in games 2 and 3. So this package over here with the Riser, the Black Rose, and the Snow, I would side if I was going to go first against the back row heavy deck like Flounderies or Eldritch, so that way I set up my board, and instead of going Scythe, I can just, when they set all their stuff, I can just, or their mid combo, I can just Black Rose blow up their field. And if that did come up round 6 against Flounderies, I nuked his board games 2 and 3, which I lost game 1 just because the side block doesn't really do anything against them. But this put in work that round. Token Collector, I expected to play a lot of Sword Soul, and I did. I think 3 or 4 of my rounds were all Sword Soul, so this card was insane going first or second, because you can just what's it called? You can just dump it with the Riser, and then just even more of a lock on that deck. And then I had 4 cards just for back row hate. Or there was times where I would open the full combo. This happened twice. And my opponent knew that they couldn't play, but they would scoop before they showed me anything. And so this was just like general good stuff, just putting in the 3 lightning storms. And then obviously for Despia, which I didn't play until the last round, but this did come up, the package. The extra deck is so tight that I can't really manage to fit these 4 into another side into them.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, no, this is a solid build, and to be honest, it's really interesting. I really like a lot of your choices, especially the 3 Griffin Ride. I think, it makes sense to finally kind of come full circle with that and finally see someone playing 3 of them. So I definitely think that's good. Unlucky on not getting a top, but to be honest, I'm sure we're gonna see you again with a top. What was your final score for that competition?
It was 5-2-1, unfortunately. Just the tiebreaker.
How it
at
is.
the end, one of the Sword Soul players that beat me, because the draw and the loss that I had, they both topped. He dropped, and I think that may have been where, because I saw him at the side events, and I think that's where my pairings, unfortunately, were not kind to me. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
I have been messing with it. Our regional season in my area is kind of over at this point, but Illegal Knight's out. There's some builds with Therion. We'll see. I don't like mill decks personally.
Yeah.
I feel like they're very RNG reliant on your mills, and I know that there are some really powerful plays with Therion and Punk, but I think I'll keep it with this. Maybe throw in Illegal Knight. See, I have my place deck coming in, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah.
One last question, actually. What were your prosperity targets for this deck? So how many are you usually banishing, and what if you were banishing, what specifically were you banishing from your extra deck?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, mostly 3, and Link Karibo, the Appaloosa usually, and where is it? It was the Don Dragster.
Okay.
Depending on my hand, if I needed to get to Enchantress and I didn't feel lucky enough, like my hand was super weak, then if I had Enchantress, then I would do the Cherubini, Link Karibo, and it just depended on the rest of the hand, but usually Baron or the Don Dragster would be the 3rd target.
Okay.
And if I had to go for 6, I would basically banish everything besides the Scythe, the Hulk, and the Baron were the most important. So, and obviously the Winter Magician, but everything else was kind of dependent on the hand.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, awesome. Right, thanks, bro. This is a really, really good profile. Have you got any shout-outs for anyone?
Shout out to my friend Martin who lent me the prosperities, the boys from locals that went up there with me, and just my, I don't know if you mind me plugging my
go for it,
Twitch, but to my Twitch community who were super helpful. I think I streamed like 6 hours of just this deck with their help, and they were also the ones that convinced me as well to put the Souls package just for more insurance. So
awesome.
shout out to all those people.
Yeah, guys, his Twitch will definitely be in the comments, in the description, all that. So make sure you go and show him some love for this really, really awesome deck. But yeah, thank you, bro. So guys, thanks for watching. This is another awesome profile, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.